sorry. Today's program is as follows. Shruti will now take us through Lord Nrsinga Dev's appearance place in Andhra Pradesh, in a place called Simhachalam, Aholam, and she will talk us through, in brief, 9 temples that are there. And after that, we will be doing some bhajans, prayers for protection, and perhaps if Bharti Ben, if that is okay for you time-wise, you can sing at that time. There's going to be quite a bit of singing because we will be doing abhisekh and arati, so many different things. And then we will have abhisekh at 8 o'clock. We'll start abhisekh at 8 o'clock of Lord Nrsinga Dev Bhagwan. So we have a very beautiful murti, which belongs to a friend of ours who has kindly allowed us to perform abhisekh. After abhisekh will be arati, and after arati we can finish with
9 o'clock.
We'll finish at 9, but Shruti has a wonderful slotam which she's going to recite for us as well. So, and arati will be straight after abhisekh. Offering and then arati. Yeah.
So while offering,
yeah. Good. Okay, are you ready, Shruti?
Yes, Prabhuji, I will share my screen.
Okay, very good. We saw this on Sunday and it was amazing. So we thought it'd be a good day to repeat it.
Okay, I will share my screen. Yeah. Is my screen visible to all the devotees?
Yes.
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 Hare Krishna, thank you so much for joining us today. So it's my utmost blessing to be able to share the glories of Ahobilam, the site of appearance of Lord Narasimha. Okay. So I would like to start with the Bija Mantra of the Sri Narasimha Kavacham. Ugram Viram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityur Mrityum Namamyaham. I bow down to the Supreme Lord Mahavishnu, who is most powerful and ferocious, who glows like blazing fire and is present everywhere, who is the most auspicious one and is the conqueror of death. So the next verse I would like to recite is in praise of the Lord's various forms at Ahobilam. The photograph on the screen is a miniature representation of the 9 different forms of Lord Narasimha at Ahobilam, and hence they are collectively called the Nava Narasimha temples, the number 9 being called Nava in Sanskrit. Aho Viryam, Aho Shauryam, Aho Bahu Parakramaha, Narasimham Param Daivam, Ahobilam, Ahobalam. Oh, what power, what courage, such immense strength in your arms. O Lord Narasimha, who appeared at Ahobilam, you are the supreme being of unparalleled strength. Ahobilam, consisting of 9 temples dedicated to Lord Narasimha, around a 5-kilometer circle approximately, is located in the Kurnool district of Andhra Pradesh in India. In addition to these 9 temples, which are distributed across 2 levels, 2 different height variations, if I may say so. So they are called Upper and Lower Ahobilam. These temples are located in a very densely forested region, surrounded by mountainous terrain. So the roads, the approach paths are all very uneven. It's fitting very apt for the half man, half lion form of the Lord. So at the foothills of Ahobilam, in addition to these 9 temples, there is also a temple for Sri Prahlada Varada Narasimha Swami. Now, the Sthala Puranam, or the records of the greatness of Ahobilam, say that Garuda, the king of birds and the divine vehicle of Lord Vishnu, wished to have a vision of the Lord in his magnificent Narasimha form. And in answer to Garuda's prayers, the Lord appeared and settled in the densely forested hills around Ahobilam in 9 different forms. And the hill, therefore, came to be known as Garudachalam, Garuda Shailam, or Garudadri, the hill of Garuda. It is said that the place acquired the name Ahobilam when the demigods or the devas praised the Lord, exclaiming, "Aho Balam, what great strength!" And other accounts say that due to the huge cave or bilam, bilam is the Sanskrit word for cave. So due to the great cave where Garuda performed his penance, the place itself eventually came to be known as Ahobilam. Ahobilam is the blessed land where the Lord killed the demon Hiranyakashipu and saved Prahlada, his foremost devotee. The Brahmanda Puranam mentions that the Ahobilam is the site where Hiranyakashipu's palace once existed, which over a period of time it ceased to exist in its usual form. The palace and its surroundings gave way to a huge, imposing mountain range that we see today. At a distance of about approximately 8 kilometers from Upper Ahobilam, there is one part of the mountain that stands out from its surroundings, like a cliff. It juts out of the surrounding mountains. And there is a gap in which divides it into 2 parts. So this projecting piece of rock is called Ugrastambham and is believed to be what remains of the pillar from which the Lord burst forth in his terrifying Narasimha form. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the Ahobilam temples as recorded by Sri Krishnadasa Kaviraj in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 1, verse 106, and verses 16 and 17 of chapter 9. There is an impression of Sri Mahaprabhu's lotus feet on top of this Ugrastambham. To quote a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, chapter 8, verse 17. Satyam vidhatum nija bhritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmanah adrishyatatyadbhuta rupam udvahan stambhe sabhayam na mrigam na manusham. So when questioned by his father Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj said with utmost faith and confidence, "Yes, indeed, the Lord is present in each and every atom of this universe." Hiranyakashipu, who had already reached the peak of his anger by that point, pointed towards a pillar. "Is your Lord present in this pillar as well?" And when he moved to strike the pillar to prove that Prahlad Maharaj's words were true, and to prove that he, the Supreme Lord, was indeed present everywhere, Lord Vishnu burst out of the pillar in the most terrifying form as neither animal nor man, na mrigam, na manusham. No one had ever seen such a form before. And this happened right in front of all of those people who had assembled in the assembly hall or the sabha of Hiranyakashipu's palace. So the temples at Ahobilam, the 9 Narasimha temples, are distributed across lower and upper Ahobilam regions. Lower Ahobilam has 3 temples dedicated to Lord Narasimha in 3 different aspects. The first is the Bhargava Narasimha Swami temple, which is situated near a sacred pond known as Bhargava Tirtham, where Lord Parashurama, also known as Bhargava Rama, is believed to have performed penance. Now, why is Lord Parashurama called Bhargava Rama? The reason is Lord Parashurama appeared in the family of in a family descended from Maharshi Bhrigu, who is considered to be one of the 7 Saptarishis of ancient Bharat. So all those descended from Maharshi Bhrigu are said to acquire the generic family name Bhargava, and therefore Lord Parashurama was also known as Bhargava Rama. The second of the temples in Lower Ahobilam is the Yogananda Narasimha Swami temple, where the Lord is believed to have taught Prahlad Maharaj yogic postures. About 3 kilometers away from Lower Ahobilam is a temple where the deity of Lord Narasimha is present under the shade of a peepal tree. Here, the Lord is known as Chhatravata Narasimha. Now, Chhatra meaning shade or umbrella, and Vata being the word for a peepal tree. And as I mentioned earlier, in addition to these 3 temples at the foothills in Lower Ahobilam, there is also a temple for Sri Prahlada Varada Lakshmi Narasimha Swami, whose photograph you see on the screen. In Upper Ahobilam, the Ahobila Narasimha Swami temple is the earliest of all these 9 temples, and here the Lord appears in his fierce aspect. About 1 kilometer from this Ahobila Narasimha Swami temple is the Krodakara Narasimha Swami temple. Kroda meaning Varaha or wild boar in Sanskrit. So here the Lord, in a very unique way, he has the face of a wild boar or Varaha and is present along with Devi Lakshmi. Next is the Karanja Narasimha Swami temple, which is situated about 1 kilometer again away from Upper Ahobilam. Here, the deity is present under a tree, which is locally known as Karanja, hence the name Karanja Narasimha. Next is the Malola Narasimha Swami temple, where the Lord appears in a very benevolent, very calm form with Devi Lakshmi on his lap. The name Malola can be broken up into 2 parts, where the word Ma indicates Devi Lakshmi and the word Lola means beloved. So Lord Narasimha, who is the beloved of Devi Lakshmi. And higher up in the Upper Ahobilam region is the Jwala Narasimha Swami temple. This is believed to be the actual spot where the Lord destroyed Hiranyakashipu with his nails. And the photo that you see on the screen is that of the very same deity at the Sri Jwala Narasimha Swami temple. And you can see even the deity is in that very same posture. And lastly, there is a temple for Sri Pavana Narasimha Swami. To share a few photographs, the photograph on the top left corner shows the 3 deities of Malola Narasimha, Karanja Narasimha, and Yogananda Narasimha. The photograph at the bottom shows the deities of Bhargava Narasimha, Ahobila Narasimha, and Pavana Narasimha. Jwala Narasimha we just saw in the previous slide. And the photograph in the top right corner is that of a very sacred pond called Rakta Kundam, where the Lord is believed to have washed his hands after destroying Hiranyakashipu. To this day, the water appears to be not exactly red, but of a very dark color, not natural like that of normal water. It has a very dark tinge to it. I wanted to share, I do not have it on this presentation. I did not have it on Sunday as well, but a photograph of yeah, I believe this is the photograph of Shri. Let me just share it. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Just for a moment. So this photograph that you see highlighted, I believe this is the photograph of Chhatrapati Nrsinga Swami. This is the one photograph that was missing from the slides. So we saw the photographs of all the other 8 or 9. So if you count, actually, strictly speaking, there are 10 temples, because in addition to the 9 temples, there is Prahlada Varada Narasimha at the foothills. So a total of 10. So we saw photographs of the other 9 deities. This one was not in the presentation. So I believe this is the one.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That's all, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fantastic.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Lord Nrsinga Bhagwan ki jai.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so what we can do is a good idea. We can have a quick look at Lord Nrsinga Dev. We did this in the afternoon, but I think a lot of devotees weren't present. So we can have a very quick run through the pastime of Lord Nrsinga Dev before we do abhisekh. So we'll do abhisekh shortly. And at that time, Bhartiji can sing and Shruti as well, perhaps, if there's time. Sing Nrsinga Arati or Mahamantra, whatever's convenient. And after that, we will do Nrsinga Kavach as well. And Shruti will do a Strotam. And then we'll do Arati. And then we'll finish round about 9 o'clock. So what happened was, this pastime is given in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, the 7th canto. There's about 8-9 chapters on this. But very briefly, this pastime took place in Satya Yuga, where Lord Varaha first came and defeated the demon called Hiranyaksh. And Hiranyaksh was the brother of Hiranyakashipu. And Hiranyakashipu became very upset. And he took a vow to avenge the death of his brother. So he started doing some really terrible tapasya. This tapasya lasted many, many years, tens of thousands of years. In those days, people lived for 100,000 years in Satya Yuga. So this tapasya was so austere that actually he caused a heavy disturbance in the universe. And this was so austere that his body was eaten up by ants. There was an anthill covering him. And Lord Brahma came because it was disturbing the whole universe. Lord Brahma came to him and he, from his kamandalu, splashed some water on Hiranyakashipu and who regained his body. And you can see half his body is skeleton and his soul was just living within that skeleton. But once Lord Brahma put the water on Hiranyakashipu, he regained his body. And Lord Brahma said to him, "What do you want? Why are you doing such terrible austerities and disturbing everybody?" I want to become immortal. Was his request. Lord Brahma said, well, even I can't be immortal. So how can I grant you something I don't have myself? So then Hiranyakashipu, being very smart, he thought that he would ask for various boons. For example, he didn't want to be killed on the land or sea or air. He didn't want to be killed by any living entity, demigod, animal, human. Didn't want to be killed in the day or night or inside or outside. He had so many different, or by any known weapon, so many different boons he wanted. And Brahma gave him those boons, and he thought he was now immortal. Nobody could kill him. So he started terrorizing the whole universe. And the Devatas, they went to Lord Vishnu, and that picture is here actually. And they pleaded with Lord Vishnu, please come and help us because this fellow has conquered our kingdoms and we are displaced. So Lord Vishnu said, yes, I will come. Don't worry. I will come to protect you in time. In the meantime, the Hiranyakashipu had a son called Prahlad. He was a really good-natured devotee of the Lord because in the womb of his mother, he heard from Narad Muni, the Bhagavad Puran. And he already became a devotee. So when he came out, he was a very gentle soul. And now Hiranyakashipu, on the other hand, was totally different. So they sent him to school, and Hiranyakashipu asked him one time, Prahlad, what have you learned? Prahlad said, I have learned that one should not keep enemies or friends. One should be very peaceful. And one should be devoted to Vishnu. Now, when Hiranyakashipu heard that, he was fuming. What are the teachers teaching you? They're supposed to be teaching you that I am God. Anyway, he sent him back to school and told of the teachers. Again, he came back, and Prahlad was asked again by his father, what is the best thing that you have learned? I have learned that the best thing is to hear about Vishnu, chant Vishnu's name, serve Vishnu. He became furious. Hiranyakashipu began to shout and scream, and he wanted his son actually killed. How envious a person he was. And then what happened was they tried to kill him in many different ways. But Prahlad, he was a great, great soul. He didn't even pray for protection from the Lord. He would just be absorbed in the chanting of the holy names. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That was his mantra. And the Lord would always protect him. They couldn't kill him. Eventually, he started converting the school children into becoming devotees as well. And that was the final straw. Hiranyakashipu asked him again into the palace and said to him, where have you got your strength from that you can defy me? Everybody is scared of me except you. Where did you get your strength from? And he said, I get my strength from the same place that you do, and that is Vishnu. And then he was challenged by Hiranyakashipu. Where is this Vishnu? I can't see him. I am Vishnu. I am God. No, you're not. And Vishnu is everywhere. Prahlad said, everywhere. I'm going to prove you wrong. Is he in this pillar? And Prahlad said, yes, he's everywhere. I'm going to prove you wrong. He went to smash the pillar with his sword. And out of that pillar came this magnificent form of Nrsinga, half man, half lion. A terrific form, never seen before. Hiranyakashipu was shocked. This incarnation was fierce, and the roar that he produced when he came out of the pillar, the whole universe heard it. It was a terrific roar. Prahlad was not scared at all because he knew this is his Lord who has come to keep his word that the Lord is present everywhere. He was born from a pillar. So this is the appearance that we are going to celebrate. We are celebrating today, Nrsinga Caturdasi. He appeared at twilight, just before twilight. and they had quite a fight. Actually, Hiranyakashipu is none other than a devotee called OBJ, from Vaikuntha, who was sent to this world so that the Lord can have a fight. He can't fight in the spiritual world. Everybody's his devotee. But he sends somebody special to our world and he fights with that person. It's a enjoying fight. Lord enjoyed the fight with Hiranyakashipu. This is like a drama, a pastime, which if we remember and cherish and share, we also become spiritually enlightened. So I wanted to stop there. Let me just finish off by saying how he was. Oh, this is what Shruti was showing us, Simhachalam, Ahobilam, and she showed us the temples, she showed us the Ugrastan. And eventually Hiranyakashipu was killed by the Lord on his lap, which is not on land, sea, or air, killed by his nails, which is not a weapon. He was killed in the doorway, which is not inside or outside. He was killed in twilight, which is neither day or night. In this way, the Lord shows that he is more cleverer than all of us put together. We try to find many excuses why we should not remember the Lord more, but we should understand that all of our excuses are actually just that, excuses. So in this way, Hiranyakashipu was beaten up badly and Prahlad Maharaj was given full protection. So I wanted to stop there and we can start arati. And yes, good. Let's just start abhisekh rather. So can I do it? Oh, you're okay to do it. Okay, good. Okay. So, Bhartiji, are you there? Or if you're a little tied up, we can sing some bhajans. Ah, good. You're there. Would you like to sing some bhajans now? Sorry?
If you like, you just carry on. I will just watch the program actually.
No problem. No problem at all.
How long are you going to continue?
Okay, we'll be another hour. And if you're free at all, you're welcome to.
I will let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you very much, Navitro.
That's
Thank
absolutely
you so
fine.
much. Thank
In
you.
the meantime, let's let you want to sing a little. Shruti, would you like to do the Nrsinga Kavach? This is probably a very good time to sing the Nrsinga Kavach.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, fantastic. So I will do arati first for the abhisekh. So this is the arati for the abhisekh, isn't it? And Shruti, you can start whenever you're ready. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji, can I start now?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, do you want the wording up?
I have it on my screen if you would like.
Yes, that's fine.
It's not the usual one that you would
That's
share.
fine. No, you do whatever you like. I'm happy.
Prabhuji. Okay. Nrsinga Kavacham Nrsinga Kavacham Vakshye Prahladenoditam Pura Sarvaraksha-karam Punyam Sarvopadravanashanam Sarvasampatkaram Chaiva Swargamoksha-pradayakam Dhyatva Nrsimham Devesham Hema Simhasanasthitam Vivritashyam Trinayanam Sharadindu Samaprabham Lakshmyalingitāvāmāngam vibhūtibhir-upāshritam Chaturbhujam komalangam swarnakundala-shobhitam श्रिया सुशोभितो रस्कं रत्नकेयूरमुद्रितं तप्तकाञ्चन सङ्काशं पीतनिर्मलवाससम् इन्द्रादिसुरमौलिष्ठ स्फुरन्माणिक्यदीप्तिभिः विराजितपदद्वन्द्वं शङ्खचक्रादिहेतिभिः गरुत्मता च विनयात् स्तूयमानं मुदान्वितं स्वहृत्कमलसंवासं कृत्वा तु कवचं पठेत् नृसिंहो मे शिरः पातु लोकरक्षात्मसम्भवः सर्वकोऽपि स्तम्भवास कालं मे रक्षतु ध्वनिम् नृसिंहो मे दृशौ पातु सोमसूर्याग्निलोचनः स्मृतिं मे पातु नृहरिः मुनिवर्यस्तुतिप्रियः नासां मे सिंहनाशस्तु मुखं लक्ष्मीमुखप्रियः सर्वविद्याधिपः पातु नृसिंहो रसनां मम वक्त्रं पात्विन्दुवदनः सदा प्रह्लादवन्दितः नृसिंह पातु मे कण्ठं स्कन्धौ भूभरणान्तकृत् दिव्यास्त्रशोभितभुजो नृसिंह पातु मे भुजौ करौ मे देववरदो नृसिंह पातु सर्वतः हृदयं योगिसाध्यश्च निवासं पातु मे हरिः मध्यं पातु हिरण्याक्ष वक्षकुक्षिविदारणः नाभिं मे पातु नृहरि स्वनाभिब्रह्म संस्तुतः ब्रह्माण्डकोटयः कट्यां यस्यासौ पातु मे कटिं गुह्यं मे पातु गुह्यानां मन्त्राणां गुह्यरूपधृक् ऊरू मनोभवः पातु जानुनी नररूपधृक् जङ्घे पातु धराभारा हत्ता योऽसौ नृकेसरी सुरराजप्रदः पातु पादौ मे नृहरीश्वरः सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः पातु मे सर्वशस्तनुम् महोग्रः पूर्वतः पातु महावीराग्रजोग्नितः महाविष्णु दक्षिणे तु महाज्वालस्तु नैऋतौ पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेषु दिशि मे सर्वतो मुखः नृसिंह पातु वायव्यां सौम्यां भीषणविग्रहः ईशान्यं पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायकः संसारभयदः पातु मृत्योर्मृत्युर्नृकेसरी इदं नृसिंहकवचं प्रह्लादमुखमण्डितं भक्तिमान् यः पठेत् नित्यं सर्वपापैः प्रमुच्यते पुत्रवान् धनवान् लोके दीर्घायुरुपजायते यं यं कामयते कामं तं तं प्राप्नोत्य संशयम् सर्वत्र जयम् आप्नोति सर्वत्र विजयी भवेत् भूम्यन्तरिक्ष दिव्यानां ग्रहाणां विनिवारणं वृश्चिकोरगसम्भूतविषापहरणं परं ब्रह्मराक्षसयक्षाणां दूरोत्सारणकारणम् भूर्जे वा तालपत्रे वा कवचं लिखितं शुभं करमूले धृतं येन सिद्ध्येयुः कर्म सिद्धयः देवासुरमनुष्येषु स्वं स्वम् एव जयं लभेत् एकसन्ध्यं त्रिसन्ध्यं वा यः पठेत् नियतो नरः सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं भुक्तिं मुक्तिं च विन्दति 32 पठेत् शुद्धात्मभिर्नृभिः कवचस्यास्य मन्त्रस्य मन्त्रसिद्धि प्रजायते अनेन मन्त्रराजेन कृत्वा भस्माभिमन्त्रणम् तिलकं बिभ्रियाद्यस्तु तस्य ग्रहभयं हरेत् त्रिवारं जपमानस्तु दत्तं वार्याभिमन्त्र्य च प्राशयेद्यं नरं मन्त्रं नृसिंहध्यानमाचरेत् तस्य रोगाः प्रणश्यन्ति ये च स्युः कुक्षिसम्भवाः किमत्र बहुनोक्तेन नृसिंहसदृशो भवेत् मनसा चिन्तितं यत्तु स तच्छाप्नोत्य संशयम् गर्जन्तं गर्जयन्तं निजभुजपतनं स्फोटयन्तं हतन्तं दीप्यन्तं तापयन्तं दिवि भुवि दितिजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं हरन्तं वीक्षन्तं मुहूर्णयन्तं करनिकरशतैः दिव्यसिंहं नमामि दिव्यसिंहं नमामि दिव्यसिंहं नमामि इति श्री ब्रह्मांड पुराणे प्रह्लादोक्तं श्री नृसिंह कवचं संपूर्णम्.
That was amazing, Shruti. Nrsingadev Bhagwan ki jai, Nrsinga Kavach ki jai. Thank you so much. Really, really nice.
Thank you.
That was
All glories
more or
to
less
the
the
Lord.
same. I thought it was the same actually.
Yes, Prabhuji. I only was referring to the text. You usually share a slide with the text. So
Oh, I see. Yeah. No, it was fine. Thank you.
thank
So
you.
we can do a little bit of kirtan. Partha is here. He's going to sing. What would you like to sing? Namaste. Namaste Nrsinghaya. Namaste Nrsinghaya.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, okay, fantastic. So, okay, good. Nrsinga Bhagwan ki jai. So we're gonna now, we just finished the abhisekh, and yes, we can ask Shruti to do the Shrotram. I was going to say Stuti, but I was just being a little bit, trying to be a little bit funny. Shruti, I was going to ask you to do a Stuti, but you decided to do a Strotam instead. Just ignore me. Just ignore me. So, fantastic. Let's put the spotlight there. Okay, so what would you like? Would you like to? Are you presenting on the screen or you just reciting?
I'll present Prabhuji.
Fantastic. Yes, go for it. Yes.
She sings very well, this lady.
So this is the Lakshmi Nrsinga.
Karavalamba Stotra.
Acha. Thank you so much. And you can give a little background to that?
Of course, Prabhuji, I have it. So the Lakshmi Nrsinga Karavalamba Stotram was composed by Sri Adi Shankaracharya. And the very name of the stotram or the prayer signifies a prayer for protection. So the word kara in Sanskrit means hand, and avalamba means taking shelter or seeking protection or seeking refuge at the Lord's feet. So when we combine the two words kara plus avalamba, it becomes karavalambam, meaning asking for the protection of the Lord's hand.
Right.
So so every verse in this stotram, there are 17 verses in all. Each verse ends with the line Lakshmi Nrsimha Mama Dehi Karavalambam, meaning, "O Lord Lakshmi Nrsimha, please give me the protection of your hand."
Wow.
So, okay, Prabhuji, I'll share my screen if that's okay.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So, is my screen visible to the
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the Lakshmi Nrsimha Karavalamba Stotram. I would like to give a little background about one of Adi Shankaracharya's disciples, primary disciples, who was a very great devotee of Lord Narasimha, and how the power of that devotion manifested in an episode where this disciple saved his guru's life. So there was a very devout Brahmin boy who lived on the banks of the river Kaveri, which is at present in the south of India, mainly in this flowing through the states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in present day Bharat. So this boy, he had mastered the Vedas while he was still in his teens, and he was in search of a guru who would guide him along the path of life. So he sought out Sri Adi Shankaracharya, who at that time was residing in Kashi or Varanasi. And here the Acharya accepted the boy as a disciple, giving him the name Sanandana. Now, Sanandana was the first of Sri Adi Shankara's disciples and was so dedicated in his studies and service that Adi Shankara repeatedly explained all of his devotional and other spiritual texts to him. Now, this appeared to the other disciples, it appeared as if Adi Shankara was being partial to Sanandana, and Adi Shankara knew this, and he thought, okay, I must dispel this notion immediately. I must show why this boy is special because of his dedication and devotion. So once, when Sanandana and a few other disciples were on the opposite bank of the river Ganga, Adi Shankara was on the opposite bank, so the river was between them. And Adi Shankara called the disciples. He asked them to cross the river and come to him. Now the river was flowing in full force and no boat was available. But Sanandana, who had full faith in the grace of his guru, confidently began to walk on the water, and everyone was astonished. How can somebody walk on water? And amazed by his devotion, the river Ganga began sprouting lotuses to support every step that Sanandana took. And when Sanandana finally reached the other bank, Adi Shankara embraced him with affection and blessed him, saying that henceforth he would be known as Padma Padacharya. So Padma meaning lotus, Pada meaning feet or footsteps. So because of this episode, the disciple came to be known as Padma Padacharya. Padma Padacharya later became the first head of the Puri Govardhan Mutt, or the monastery established by Adi Shankara at Puri in Odisha.
That's fantastic background. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So the three other major monasteries established by Adi Shankaracharya are at Sringeri in the state of Karnataka in the south, which is primarily devoted to the worship of Devi Saraswati or Devi Sharada, the goddess of learning, who bestows enlightenment. And there is also a mutt at Jyotir Mutt near Badrinath in Uttarakhand. And there is another one at Dwaraka in Gujarat. So these four major disciples of Adi Shankaracharya, who went by the names of Sureshwaracharya, Padmapadacharya, Hastamalakacharya, and Totakacharya. These four disciples went on to become the first gurus or the first heads of each of these four monasteries. And now coming to the very amazing episode where Lord Narasimha manifested himself through Padmapadacharya, and how the Lord came to the rescue of Adi Shankaracharya. So there was once a Kapalika. So now Kapalika is one who, in those days, these practices were very prevalent, and Adi Shankara was one of those gurus who sought to stop such unnecessary practices such as human or animal sacrifices. So he was one of those gurus who brought about a proper system of worship in temples and other places of pilgrimage all across Bharat, seeking to stop such practices which had no basis actually in the scriptures. So such a person, who went by the generic name of Kapalika, he once approached Adi Shankara and begged him to give his head as a sacrificial offering. He intended to take undue advantage of the Acharya's noble nature. Now, the Acharya knew what the Kapalika was intending to do, but nevertheless, he very smilingly, very peacefully, he consented. But he warned the Kapalika that he must do it without the knowledge of any of the Acharya's disciples. He said, you better be warned. If any of my disciples come to know, then I cannot guarantee what will happen. So when the disciples went away for a bath and the Acharya was alone, the Kapalika approached Adi Shankara, who was deeply meditating at that point of time. And then he raised his sword to cut off Adi Shankara's head. But at that very moment, Padma Padacharya, who we spoke about in the previous slide, he had this power of intuition which came with years and years of spiritual practice and meditation and prayer. He intuitively understood the evil intentions of this Kapalika, and by force of his intense meditation on Lord Narasimha, he himself temporarily he assumed that wondrous form of the Lord. So the Lord manifested himself through Padma Padacharya. And in that form, he pounced upon the Kapalika and completely destroyed him to pieces, and letting out a terrifying roar which everyone could hear. And on hearing this sound, Adi Shankara awoke from his meditation. He was surprised to witness the scene before him. And just like the other disciples who had rushed to the scene, listening to that great sound, and with very great difficulty, Adi Shankara made Padma Padacharya return to his human form. And everyone then learned that Padma Padacharya was a very great devotee of Lord Narasimha and had once meditated upon the Lord while performing penance in the hills of Ahobilam, the very place, the very sacred place where the Lord first appeared as Narasimha. So I will now move on to the verses of the Sri Lakshmi Nrsinga Karavalamba Stotra.
Wonderful pastime. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Sri Lakshmi Nrsinga Karavalamba Stotra. Srimad Payonidhi Niketana Chakrapane Bhogindra Bhogamanirajita Punyamurte Yogisha Shashvata Sharanya Bhavabhipota Lakshmi Nrsimha Mama Dehi Karavalambam Brahmendra Rudra Marudarka Kirita Koti Sanghatitangri Kamala Malakanti Kanta Lakshmi Lasatkucha Saroruharajansa Lakshmi Nrsimha Mama Dehi Karavalambam Samsara Davadahana Kulabhikaroru Jwalavali Bhirati Digdhatanuru-hasya Tvatpada Padma Sarasi Sharanagatasya Lakshmi Nrsimha Mama Dehi Karavalambam Samsara Jalapatitasya Jagannivasa Sarvendriyatha Badishagrajashopamasya Protkampita Prachuratalukamastakasya Lakshmi Nrsimha Mama Dehi Karavalambam Samsara Kupamati Ghoramagaadhamulam Samprapya Dukkha Shata Sarpa Samakulasya Deenasya Deva Kripaya Padamagatasya Lakshmi Nrsimha Mama Dehi Karavalambam संसार भीकर करीन्द्र कराभिघात निष्पीड्य मानवपुषः सकलार्तिनाश प्राण प्रयाण भवभीति समाकुलस्य लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् संसार सर्प विषदिग्धमहोग्र तीव्र दंष्ट्राग्रकोटि परिदष्ट विनष्ट मूर्ते नागारिवाहन सुधाभिनिवास शौर्ये लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् संसार वृक्षमघबीजमनन्त कर्म शाखायुतं करणपत्रमनङ्गपुष्पम् आरुह्य दुःखफलिनं पततो दयालो लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् संसार सागर विशाल कराल काल नक्रग्रह ग्रसित निग्रह विग्रहस्य व्यग्रस्य रागनिचयोर्मिनिपीडितस्य लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् संसार सागर निमज्जन मुह्यमानम् दीनं विलोकय विभो करुणानिधे माम् प्रह्लाद खेद परिहार कृतावतार लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् संसार घोर गहने चरतो मुरारे मारोग्र भीकर मृग प्रचुरार्दितस्य आतस्य मत्सर निदाघ सुदुःखितस्य लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् बद्ध्वा गलेयमभटा बहुतज्जयन्तः कर्षन्ति यत्र भवपाशशतैर्युतं माम् एकाकिनं परवशं चकितं दयालो लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् लक्ष्मीपते कमलनाभ सुरेश विष्णो यज्ञेश यज्ञ मधुसूदन विश्वरूप ब्रह्मण्य केशव जनार्दन वासुदेव लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् एकेन चक्रमपरेण करेण शङ्खम् मन्येन सिन्धुतनयामवलम्ब्य तिष्ठन् वामेतरेण वरदाभयपद्मचिह्नम् लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् अन्धस्य मे हृतविवेकमहाधनस्य चोरैर्महाबलिभिरिन्द्रियनामधेयैः मोहान्धकारकुहरे विनिपातितस्य लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् प्रह्लाद नारद पराशर पुण्डरीक व्यासादि भागवत पुंगव हृन्निवास भक्तानुरक्त परिपालन पारिजात लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् Lakshmi Nrsinga Caturdasi Stotram Kritam Shubhakaram Bhuvi Shankarena Ye tat pathanti manuja hari bhakti yukta te yanti tat pada sarojamaghandarupam. Iti Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Karavalamba Stotram Sampurna.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Hare Krishna.
And is there a translation?
I would have liked to very much to include the translation as well in the slides, Prabhuji, but I did not. I was not able to find the time to properly put in the translation on each and every slide. But I can.
In the future. In the future.
Yeah. I will. I'll have this presentation anyway. So what I will do is I'll include the translation on each of these slides, just below the verses, like we do in our other sessions. So I'll make sure to include that and share that as well, Prabhuji.
Fantastic. This was so amazing. And you got such a divine voice. So well done. Well done.
It's all the Lord's grace. Thank you.
Thank you
Prabhuji.
so much. Well
Thank
done. So now we've time for Arati. Very good timing. Fantastic timing. I was going to ask if Bharti ji is free. She's welcome to sing. Otherwise, great. You're there.
Prabhuji, can I just
I can't tell you, Napi Prabhu, you've got jewels here.
Jewels, diamonds,
Absolutely,
gems.
I'm just, I could cry at the beauty of how Shruti ji sang. And earlier, was it Shruti ji who recited?
Yes.
Who
Yes.
was? And also somebody recited the prarthana, that was beautiful. I mean, I could become their disciples, honestly. I really, and your storytelling is amazing. This is like absolutely heavenly.
But actually, we are inspired by you. So,
Prabhuji, I'm like a, what can I, stone near
no
the
way.
diamonds.
No
Absolutely.
way.
No.
You are the gem. You are the gem. This is what
Shruti,
Ashwin Bhai said.
Shruti, I really have tears in my eyes listening to that. The way you pronounce and the way you sing,
Amazing.
your voice is so beautiful and trained. And I thank Lord Nursing for getting me to experience this.
I thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity. Prabhuji, in fact, he sent me a message last night. I hadn't even planned on compiling all of this and being a part of the session, but
where do you live?
I live in Uxbridge.
Okay.
We need to get her down here in
Oh
Sutton.
my God. Oh my God. Honestly, you should get Shrutiji to do classes on doing mantras.
She does. Wednesday night, she teaches.
Oh, that's when she does it. Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday night. Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, we all get together to learn a verse from the Bhagavad Gita every week, every Wednesday.
Amazing.
Many of the students are here.
I have my own Zoom meeting on the Monday Matram. Otherwise, I would have loved to join. You're absolutely amazing.
But
can I just add
Bharti
to that?
is capable of teaching everybody here, and
No.
No, but I'm just like, it's like a primary school, not even nursery school. Honestly, Napi Prabhu, this was heavenly, and I really want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to listen to this.
But now we'd like to hear you.
I don't even feel like.
No, but you're amazing. You're absolutely amazing.
Before Bharti Ben sings, can I just comment on Shruti's voice? It was intoxicating, as Bharti Ben says, and I think you got wonderful gift. You should be proud of yourself, and we are proud of you. Haribol.
Absolutely.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Shruti, as usual, you're not only beautiful outside, you're beautiful inside also by the Lord's mercy.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Everything is the Lord's mercy. Everything is the Lord.
Yes.
Actually, Nabi Prabhu, I'd rather just actually you end it, and I just rather just have her voice in my head. Honestly, that is actually this is
and we
what
want your voice in our head.
No, why ruin such a beautiful atmosphere? Honestly, no. Today, leave it. I'm happy to sing another time, but today I really I'm just completely overwhelmed with the.
That's amazing humility, actually. That's amazing.
She can sing another prayer or another song.
Fair enough.
Please,
Another
that would
time,
be nice.
another time. But today I just want to keep that voice in my head ringing.
Yeah, Bhartiben, that's what I'm saying. Shrutik should sing another one, so we should still be swimming in that. We want to swim in that Pratna song and the voice.
Yes, I do. I would. Yes, Shruti,
I
come
agree
on.
with that.
Shruti, that was amazing.
What would you like to sing, Shruti? Do you know this one? Jai Nrsinga, Jai Nrsinga. Oh, Ugram. You know that Ugram one?
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu.
Yes. Shall I bring it up? Oh, do you have it?
Yes, Prabhuji, if you could share the screen.
You can. Yes, go for it.
No, Prabhuji, is it
I
just
can.
that verse or the rest that Karuna Mataji usually?
No, just that one verse, which can be sung a few times, right? That's all. Yeah. I can bring it up if you like.
How many times, Prabhuji? Because you have the arati to perform.
When the conch blows the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing arti now. So this is sung during arti, actually.
Just if you could share the screen.
I will do. Let me just bring it up. One second. You really made this is probably one of the best Nrsinga festivals we've had. So, and after this, yes, we'll finish with this arti, Nrsinga arti, but this is what you can sing during the arti, between the two conchas blowing.
Okay.
Okay. So let me I'm just sharing it now. Okay.
How many times, Prabhuji?
A few times. I'll tell you when.
Okay.
So you can start.
Okay. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nrsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityum Namamyaham.
So we can chant this one a few times, and then we can do the Nrsinga Arati. Shri Nrsinga. Do you know this one? Oh.
Well, you please continue.
No, actually, we'd like to hear you.
Okay, Prabhuji. If you
learn from you.
Yeah, can you make up some dhun and sing it with that, or without dhun, anything you?
I'll sing in the same tune that all the devotees usually sing, especially
Okay, yeah, that'll be good.
Shri Narasimha,
Beautiful.
Jai Narasimha, Jaya Jaya Narasimha, Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma, Vranga, Shri Narasimha, Jaya Narasimha, Jaya Jaya Narasimha, Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma, Vranga, Shri Narasimha, Jaya Narasimha, Jaya Jaya Narasimha, Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma, Vranga, Shri Narasimha, Jaya Narasimha, Jaya Jaya Narasimha, Prahladesha, Jaya Padma, Mukha Padma, Vranga.
So you can sing this one if you like, in your style.
Namaste Narasimhaya Prahladahdadayine Hiranyakashipurvakshah Shilatankanakalaye Ito Nrsimha Parato Nrsimho Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsimha Bahir Nrsimho Hridaye Nrsimho Nrsimham Adim Sharanam Prapadye Tava Karakamalaware Keshava Nakhamadbhuta Shringam Tava Karakamalaware Keshava Nakhamadbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhrangam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhrangam Keshavadhrata Narahari Rupa Keshavadhrata Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshava Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Hare Krishna.
Wow.
You could sing that once more, please.
Of course, of course. Tava
Absolutely.
Karakamalabare Keshava Nakhamadbhuta Shringam Tava Karakamalabare Keshava Nakhamadbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhrangam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhrangam Keshavadhrata Narahari Rupa Keshavadhrata Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshava Jaya Jagadisha Hare.
Amazing. Maybe what you can do is for a few minutes, you can sing the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna.
Ugram Viram Prabhu.
Okay, yes, because it's
the Hare
Nrsinga,
Krishna
right?
Maha Mantra.
Yes, I think let's do that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, why not?
But that one you don't need the words anyway.
Yes, of course. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nrsingadev Bhagwan ki jai, Narahari ki jai, Ahobalam ki jai, Simhachalam ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shruti ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so
She
much.
needs a drink.
She really made this occasion such a wonderful occasion. So thank you very, very much, Shruti. And Chetik, thank you, Partiji, as well. You're very humble because you're as good. So
I know my limitations, Prabhu, but this was so beautiful. Where did you learn Sanskrit, Shruti?
Mataji, I did not have the opportunity to learn Sanskrit during my school days. In many schools, especially those having the CBSE syllabus, the Central Board syllabus in India, they have the option of learning Sanskrit as a third language. But
Yes.
the school where I studied, we did not have that option. But while growing up at home, my parents and my uncle and aunt, they all used to recite a lot of verses from Sanskrit texts. My mother and my maternal aunt, they learned Sanskrit when they were growing up in school. So reciting along with them, reading along with them, it was they really who fostered that culture of reading Sanskrit and reciting these verses at home. A lot of the verses that I know, some of them my mother taught me, some of them taught by my father, some of them taught by my maternal aunt. So yes, we all learn together, really.
Well, you have a very musically trained voice. I think this is what people in South, they're just so gifted. The way they speak, firstly, when you speak, it's musical. But if you put little bit of sur in it, like you did, the Shruti, what you call, oh my goodness, just Shruti, can you do me a favor? You know this dhun, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, and the Narsing Stuti and everything. Can you put it in a dhun, or whatever happens to be popular? Then I'd love to hear you sing that.
We'll do that. We'll do that one Sunday. And actually, if you join us as well,
Sunday.
on a Sunday, maybe this Sunday or the next Sunday, when it's convenient for you, and we can. Let me just stop the recording.